Hello, and welcome to Dear Diary Let's Knit. My name's Jess, and this is my podcast where I talk about all my creative adventures. Usually that is quilting and knitting, but occasionally I travel into other creative areas. So I will share all about that here. I usually start out, if you've been here before, with the knitting, and then the second half I'll go into all my quilting. So without further ado, Dear Diary, let's knit. Okay, so it has been a little while since I have done a podcast. I did at the beginning of January do an Everything I Knit in 2023 video, but I haven't shown what I'm working on for quite a while. So I do have a couple finished objects, and then we will go into my works in progress. So my first finished object, and if you watched my 2023 video of Everything I Knit, you'll have already seen these mittens, but these are the mittens that I made for my mom, and they are color work, and I'll put a picture up here because I have already gifted these to her. But these are color work. They're the Carmalita Mittens, and they were so much fun to work on. Okay, so these were the Carmalita Mittens, and it is a free pattern, so I highly recommend it. They are so cute. And they ended up fitting my mom perfectly, which was fantastic. They were just fun to work on. I find color work very meditative because I have to have my focus on the mittens. And so it's just a very meditative process, and I really enjoyed that. Ooh, and also wanted to share with you one more thing that I did not make, but back in November, I got to teach my mom and two of my sisters how to knit. And it was so much fun because one of my sisters is from clear across the country and my other one is down south from me. And they were both here and my mom was here, and I got to teach them how to knit back in November. And my mom on Christmas, when she stopped by, brought her finished hat that she had completed, and it was so cute. So I'm gonna put up some pictures here because I loved it. It was so cute. So her dad knit all the time. He was a wonderful knitter, but she had never learned how to knit. She knew how to crochet, and she is incredible at crochet. So it was really fun to do some knitting with her. Yeah, so check out her super cute hat that she made. I love it. The next thing that I completed were just a pair of mittens for my dad. Thanks, bud. And these ones I used Holst Supersoft, and then and I've gifted these also, so I don't have them either. But let me, just 1 second, I'll grab it. All right, so I got the yarn that I used for my dad's mittens. And the pattern for this, I did World's Simplest Mittens, World's Easiest Mittens. It's one of those names, I'll put it below. But it's by Tin Can Knits, and it is a free pattern, and it is incredible. So if you've never used it, highly, highly recommend it. But I used this Holst Supersoft, and then I used Cumulus by Fiberspates in the color Noir, and I was absolutely playing yarn chicken with this. So this is all I had left. I cast on the largest size, and it called for size 3 for the cuff of needles, and then a size 5 needle for the rest of the mitten. And I thought I had grabbed a size 5 needle, and when I got finished with the first mitten, I realized I had actually grabbed a size 4, which worked out well because I might have run out if I had actually done it on the right size needle. But they turned out perfect, and they fit my dad perfectly. So it all worked out. And I'm really glad I accidentally grabbed the size 4 needles for those mittens. but they turned out great. So I was pretty happy with them. The next finished object I also don't have with me, but that is because my little guy took it to school with him. He takes it every day. Okay, so he had asked me for a scarf, but I had seen him wear other scarves, and it always frustrated him that they wouldn't stay over his mouth area. He wanted his mouth and nose to stay warm. So I suggested a cowl. And I explained what a cowl was, that it goes all the way around. And he was like, yes, that's what I want. And he got so excited and goes, and then there's a hole in the middle of it for you to breathe. I could not figure out what he was talking about. And after like 5 minutes of trying to figure out what he was talking about, I realized that he wanted a balaclava that had the hole in the middle for him to breathe. So I found a balaclava pattern, and it's called I Knit Balaclava, and I can't remember who it's by, so I will put that right here. And it is a paid pattern, and it was really easy to follow. So I grabbed some scrap yarn that I had, and I started knitting in this balaclava, and it was when we had that really, really cold blast kind of come through the whole country. So it turned out perfect timing that I got this done, and he loves it and wears it all the time. However, I don't know if I would knit this pattern again. It's worked bottom up, and you'll see from the pictures, like it fits him really good, but the top, it's kind of loose, and it kind of goes back on his head instead of forward, which does kind of bother him. So he still wears it every single day. But I think if I were gonna knit another, I would probably choose a different pattern. It was really easy to follow, and it looks super cute, but it definitely, and I know part of that, like instead of it being under his chin, he always pulls it up. So I know part of the looseness up here is because of that, but it just doesn't have much shaping for the forehead. So that's my thoughts on that pattern. It was really easy. I got it done in a week, and it was a fun pattern to knit, but I think I would probably do a different balaclava pattern if I were gonna make another. So I think that's all my finished projects for knitting. So I am gonna show you what I'm working on. So the first one I'm working on, and you know what, I'm gonna talk about my cardigan. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 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 So I have been working on, oh, I don't need it on right now, but thank you. All right, so my first work in progress is my cardigan. It is the Oakford cardigan by Storey, and it is so cute. I absolutely love it. But I cast it on back in August, and it's really just been a background project. So it's never been my main focus, which has made it feel like it is taking forever. So I decided that I wanted to really put a little bit of focus on it, because it felt like it was just never gonna get done. And so whenever I feel like that on a project, I challenge myself to put it as my one knitting project for 1 week, and just kind of kickstart to see how much I can actually get done in a week. So I completed, well, before I challenged myself for this, last time I was on here, I was about, I think I was about here on the sleeves. And so I completed both the sleeves, and there's the one, and here's the other one. I obviously have not blocked them. Yeah? Okay, hold on, I will.
Okay.
And then I started working on the back. And I was about, let's see, I had gotten about that much of the back done. And I decided to challenge myself to see how much I could get done in a week. So I want to share my markers. Each day, I would put a marker at the end of that day. So you can see right here was Sunday night when I went to bed. And then we've got a marker for each of the days. And I was able to complete the entire back in a week. And it's funny because since I had only been working on it in the background, I honestly did not think I'd be able to complete that in a week. I was like, oh, that's clearly like an entire month of work. But it just goes to show you that really it's just because I wasn't working on it. It's not because it was hard or too time consuming. I just wasn't working on it. So I completed the back and both the arms, and I started the front left panel. And hopefully you can see those cute cables. I absolutely love it. I was really excited to see that you actually work this button band with the front panel, because I thought I was going to have to pick up that whole button band afterwards. But I don't, which, I mean, it's a little cumbersome because you have that extra needle there, but it's going to make it nice once it's done. So I just barely started shaping for the front panel there for the raglan shaping. So that's how it's going. It made me really excited, and I cannot wait to finish it. It's so cute. I love it so much. Okay, so my next project, I prefer to only have like 2 knitting projects, a small one and a big one. So I started a pair of socks for one of my kids who pointed out that they did not have a pair. So I grabbed some scrap yarn. This top one is Madeline Tosh, and then this one was just a Hobby Lobby wool one. Yes, yarn. So they actually look so cute together. This was leftovers from a pair of fingerless mitts I did last year, and then the darker one was leftovers from another pair of socks I did last year. And they just worked so cute together. I ended up doing 2x2 rib on the whole thing because I figured that way, even if I made it a smidge big, it could hug his little legs. So I have one sock complete, and I am almost to the heel of the second sock. So I think they're so cute. When I did the mittens, I held this yarn double, so I hadn't actually seen how the striping would come out, and I love it. I think it is so cute with those little micro stripes. So fun. So those are the socks. And I think, I mean, it's been quite a while, but I think that's all I have for knitting. So, yeah. Thanks for stopping by for the knitting. And if you want to see some quilting stuff, we'll go into that next. So, without further ado, dear diary, let's quilt. All right. If you are sticking around for the quilting, thank you and welcome. So I don't actually have any quilting that I've done right now, but I did have some fabrics I've gotten for my strawberry shortcake quilt. So I'm gonna share those with you. And if you haven't seen it before, this is a vintage strawberry shortcake fabric. Okay, hold on. And hopefully that's not too blown out from the light. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And I have had this for a long time. I think 14 years is what I figured. I've had this strawberry shortcake, this vintage fabric, and I got on Etsy and I found this vintage huckleberry pie fabric to go with it. And I really wanted to do a quilt. So I'm gonna put up the picture of the quilt I plan on making with this. It is in a, I think it's a home and garden. Yes, home and garden quilting book that I have. And then I picked up these, let me try and, fabrics to go with it. Hopefully that lighting is okay, but they are so cute. We've got flowers, little strawberries and blueberries, picnicky, just so many cute fabrics to go with it. So I'm really excited about that. My plan is to fussy cut like around the little motifs, and then these will be the center of the stars. So that's what I'm planning to do for that. And then I do have one more thing, which is not quilting, but it is sewing. And this one I started last summer. My daughter wanted to design a dress. And so she told me exactly how she wanted it, the kind of fabric she wanted. She drew out a picture for me and I started making it. And then I put it away and forgot about it. So I am putting it on here because I need to finish it before it no longer fits her. So this is the little dress she is designing and I am making, and I have the whole skirt bottom part done. And I even have like the chiffon attached to the lining already for the front. And the reason I stopped is because I was working on it one day and I got the back pieces all done and realized I cut out 2 left pieces. So I have 2 back pieces that are both for the left side. And so I need to just cut out a right side and get back to sewing this together. I mean, honestly, it's not gonna take that long. I need to just do it. So this is me motivating myself to do it by putting it up on here so I can get it finished before she outgrows it. But she wanted 3 cute ruffles on the skirt and then just a basic top with really ruffly sleeves. So that is the goal. I just measured this off of like clothes she already owns and fit her really good. It's a pretty basic construction, so it's not too hard. It's just a matter of actually doing it. But there you go. That is what I've been working on. And I think that's all I have to share. I don't have any other acquisitions or any other works in progress. And it actually feels pretty good to have less to work on. I have my big knitting project and my small knitting project. And then I have a bigger quilting project and a smaller, I guess you could call the dress smaller, sewing project. So that is everything I have for today. Thanks so much for coming along and taking a look at all the things I've been working on. Thanks for letting me share with you. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.